Hi, I'm Rick Belt, the EV Mic Guy. Thanks for watching. Reading through our viewer mail, I came across this one from Mark in Montreal, Quebec. Mark writes, "Hey Rick, the drummer in the band I mix for's kit is complicated and he likes to play his cymbals pretty low. I've tried a lot of the popular drum mics out there, but because of the size of the mic and cable together, I can't position the mic properly to get the sound I want. Can you give me any tips or guidance?" That's a great question, Mark, and thanks so much for writing in for advice. Out of all the miking situations you run into in your career, one of the trickiest is properly miking a drum kit. And drummers who play their cymbals just over the toms will challenge your skills and gear every time. In getting a good tom sound, first you should be choosing a mic designed for the job. Ideal specs include a tight polar pattern like supercardioid for isolation, a very fast transient response for a lively attack, and a full-bodied sound characteristic that translates the size of the drum into the speakers. After you have those specs covered, your mic should also be easily positioned in tight spaces so you'll be able to get the placement just right for the sound you're after. And you're right, so many of the highly regarded drum mics on the market do have the acoustical specs covered, but are sometimes impossible to place for the sound you're going for. I'd like to tell you about the EV D468 and why I love it on drums. Here's a close-up of the D468 directly over a tom-tom. Its dynamic element is robust and ideal for close miking drums, and its supercardioid polar pattern provides excellent isolation and off-axis rejection of nearby instruments. With a frequency response of 30 to 22K close up, it delivers an outstanding blend of body warmth and snap, and its hot sensitivity of 3.1 millivolts per Pascal gives it plenty of gain to drive any preamp. And to seal the deal, its dynamic range of 144 dB means that it can easily handle all the sharp transients any drum will produce. I have a 468 here on a short stand, and I'd like to show you the features that make it so convenient for miking drums. First, it's a very small form factor, making it a very manageable size to get in and over a drum. Second, the mic mounts in a rotating clip that gives you a primary point of articulation, and additionally the mic element itself swivels independently from the body of the mic, giving you further positioning options. And when it comes to cable management, your mic cable plugs into the end of the body of the mic, leading it away from your drums and cymbals. That's pretty cool. So I shot this video here in my project studio, and I'd like to take you over to the drum kit to see these mics in action. All right, here we are at the drum kit, my 1968 Ludwig Super Classics, my favorite kit to record with. So here's the challenge. My cymbals are kind of low, and I need to mic this tom-tom. I've only got about 8 inches of room here between the cymbal and the top of the tom. I've got my favorite spots on the tom that I want to hit, and not with the drumstick, I'm talking about hit with the microphone. Directional microphones here where they're pointed. And with tom-toms or drums in general, the microphone acts sort of like a macro lens on a camera. It's going to take a close-up shot of where you got it aimed. What you're going to find is that if you're not aiming at the head in the right spot, you're going to end up inviting in other elements of the drum kit that you want to avoid in your tom-tom sound. So I'm going to show you one of the challenges some people have. Here's a popular tom-tom mic. It creates a problem for me. I try to attack the drum head straight on, almost directly at it, instead of glancing across it. And in order to get my favorite drum sound with this particular mic, I don't have room. I can't do that because the cymbal is going to hit the microphone cable, because I got about 10 inches of microphone here, plus another 4 inches of cable. So that's quite a bit of distance. Of course, I could try reducing the angle of the mic and come at it at a lower angle, but unfortunately I'm going to be aiming at the drummer's lap, and we don't want to do that either. I'm going to show you how handy the 468 is in this application. Now the 468 is very positionable. One of the handy things is that the cable comes out the back end of the microphone instead of going up, so you don't have that issue with cable management around your cymbals. So here's the 468 in on the tom-tom. I can move it around, I can move my boom in. One of the cool things is that because not only does my mic clip tilt, but also the head of the capsule I can get a general angle at it with the mic clip and then fine tune my approach or my attitude of the microphone toward the head at the capsule, so I can spin around and get a more of a fine-tuned position. Now I'm going to step around the back side of the kit and we're going to get a couple of sounds and see what they sound like. So I'm going to break away and be right back. Okay, I'm back. So as I demonstrate the different sounds on the drum with different mic positions, I'm going to be muting my body mic on and off so that that doesn't get mixed in with the tom sound. So at this point, I'm going to put the mic in an improper position, too close to the head, which is not going to give me enough air and life. Let me get that buried down here. So I'm going to show you what that sounds like. So that's probably really dry and lifeless, and I need to get more air between the head and the capsule. So with the 468, it's really simple. All I have to do is change the attitude of the mic clip and then tilt the head of the mic a little bit more down toward the head. So here's another sample. Now that's still not really where I like the mic. I like the mic over the rim. You're going to get a lot more air and tone off of the shell of the drum. So I'm going to move it out a little bit, which is really simple with the 468. I can bring up the mic here, aim it more over the, let me get that here, aim it more over the rim. So I'm aiming the mic directly at the rim, and I'm about 1.5 inches or 2 inches off of the head. Now I'm going to change the angle of attack even more. I like to get over the rim, but aiming a little bit toward the attack zone of the head where the stick impacts the head so that I get enough attack. So now I've changed the attack angle even more, and once again, because I can spin the head of the mic independently from the body of the mic, I've got really good positioning capabilities. Now this is getting pretty close to where I would really like it. I'm going to come up just a little bit, get a little more air, aim it just a little bit more in toward the center of the head. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so I'm pretty confident I've got a pretty close drum sound there, and I hope you understand that the coolest thing about the 468, not only does it sound really, really good, it's a great dynamic mic, excellent on tom-toms, great transient response, captures the body of the drum really, really well, but because I've got so many positioning options and the cable goes out the back end of the microphone, I don't have to worry about all the cable clutter around the cymbal. So to me, the 468 is an ideal mic. So there you go, Mark. The ND468 is an outstanding mic on drums. Because of its design, it's the most placeable mic on the market, and the drum sound you'll be getting with it will be terrific. Good sound is a very subjective thing, but I'll bet you'll love it for everything it has to offer. Thanks again for your question. So that's it for this show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. This is Rick Belt, the EV Mic Guy. See you next time.